The modern United States Armed Forces have disturbed an ancient Roman fortress. They've moved in their soldiers during a time of war in World War III. They have 200 M1A2 Abrams, 200 Sea Whizzes, and 100 missile systems, along with heavy armored units, standard US Army infantry, ghillie suit snipers, and so much more. But while they may be taking a break from fighting World War III against other modern soldiers, them disturbing this ancient Roman fortress has descended a curse upon them. Just under 8 million Roman centurions, legionnaires, principes, and more have suddenly risen from the Earth's surface. They are ready to siege the fortress walls and take back what was once theirs. It's strange that this keeps happening to the US Army, but maybe they should stop desecrating ancient monuments. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe with notifications turned on. We're working our way towards 700,000 subs, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys click that subscribe button and let me know what other types of battles you guys want to see. Either way, let's get right on into this thing. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alrighty then, boys, let's go ahead and press start right now, and there we have it. US missile systems firing away. Look at that, arcing fire out into the distance, exploding multiple Romans at once. The Sea Whizzes also spraying fire down towards the oncoming Roman soldiers. M1A2 Abrams firing away with their HE shells currently. That means high explosive, baby. And yeah, once again, devouring a number of these enemies all at one time. Absolute brutality on this battlefield right now. It's inescapable for the Roman army. They are being absolutely dominated by outgoing weapons fire. Here's some of our shotgun heavy units for the US troops, and over here we have some of our gas masked US Army soldiers, just in case some of that old Roman dust carries with it some crazy plagues or something along those lines. You know, you don't want to breathe that stuff in. Oh, look at this Sea Whiz fire, man, it's so sick. Look at that. Each shot getting tens of kills and like 1,000 rounds in every shot as well. So just really devastating weaponry. A few of them over here are getting attacked now, and they don't have the most health, so they will probably go down where they don't have infantry defending them, and there goes one of them right there. So, not the best result, but there is infantry very close by that can hopefully try and help protect them. Although, some of this infantry right now is getting slashed and stabbed by Roman legionnaires coming in hot right now. Over this way is where we've got our ghillie suit snipers protecting the little breach in the wall over here. This is an ancient fortress, so, you know, it's not fully intact. Some auxiliary spearmen coming into play over here, starting to march on these ghillie suit snipers, but at the moment not really making it very far up, so they're gonna need to really hustle to get up there. Missile systems over here are supported by some of these night vision goggle wearing shotgun units for the Americans over this way. They are getting directly hit by some more of those Roman auxiliary spearmen in the corners over here. US troopers losing some men, but not a crazy amount. It shouldn't be too bad yet for the US. Once the catapults really start rounding off, and it looks like the first burst fire of catapult shots are coming into play, that's when the U.S. is going to start losing a lot of units. There's also 500,000 archers on the battlefield. They're over near the Abrams, but they're in the way back, so they're probably not at the front lines yet in range, but the catapults spawned a little bit closer, and as you can see, their rocks are getting thrown, and they are doing damage to the interior of the United States lines here. We've got 82,300 U.S. forces remaining. They started with 85,000. Meanwhile, the Romans started with like 7.7 million, something along those lines, very close to 8 million. Some of them, I think, got cut off by these lakes over here and drowned, and that's why we had under 8 million. It was supposed to be 8 million, but it is what it is, boys. Yeah, these M1A2 Abrams here are getting full-on death charged right now. And yes, the archers are not quite in play yet over here, which will have a very big effect. Yep, there are all those Roman archers. Once they make it to the front lines, I think we're going to see big kills for the Roman troops coming on forward. And also, yes, these catapults. There's 20,000 catapults on the battlefield. Right now, they're coming forward. They are already shaking the grounds of the U.S. forces right now and destroying their lines. I mean, look at this. It is getting just sporadic here with the placement of the U.S. Army shotgun units. They're getting tossed around. They're getting deadly rocks thrown at their faces. It's tough, and then the infantry gets to come in and has a lot easier time picking them off because the U.S. troops don't have as much of a unified line here. It's a good strategy, Cotton. It'll work out for them, I think. And also, some of these missile systems might end up dying fairly soon once those catapults really start hitting them. Right now, the catapults are still kind of hitting just ahead of them at the U.S. infantry, but once they actually start firing at those missile systems, I think they'll start going down relatively quickly. Over here, auxiliary spearmen hugging the walls, getting up close and personal with some of these ghillie suit snipers over this way, taking some stabs at them, but not quite killing anyone just yet, it seems. How about the other side? Over here, yeah, we got these guys still charging in. They're concentrating on the Sea Whizzes, which I think is a great idea. It's very smart to go ahead and focus fire on some of the more strong units first, prevent more death later on. The gas mass unit here, they must have really poor fire rates or something like that, because the Roman soldiers are making it right up into their lines, unlike the guys over here where less Roman soldiers are making it right up into their lines. I don't know, it's kind of interesting that way. M1A2 Abrams, the front line is getting quite bloodied by a large quantity of Romans coming forward over here, but these heavy units behind them aren't really getting affected just yet because those tanks are right on in front of them, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, centurions, to a man, destroy them. Oh yeah, these heavy units over here though, getting full on swarmed, but look at those body piles. The body piles are sick, but they actually do end up hindering the U.S. Army forces quite a bit, because now all these troopers back here can't fire until the enemy is right on top of them. Meanwhile, before, they were able to fire all the way out here. I mean, some of the Sea Whizzes still can because they have arcing fire, but the standard infantry units aren't going to be as effective anymore with these body piles now in play. Right now we have 8,600 dead U.S. Army soldiers, and we have a whole lot of dead, almost 2 million dead Roman soldiers. 5.8 million remaining for the Romans, which is, that's a lot have died when they started with like 7.7 million, so that's pretty nuts. Look at this. Oh yeah, these Romans are coming deep into the missile systems. Is this one dead? Yeah, I think these are dead back here. They just don't despawn like other units, or they don't flop on the ground, so it's not as clear as other units. So, yeah, those ones died. They're about to breach towards this gate here, which could help in flanking a lot of the ghillie suit snipers over this way. These guys in the main path here, still holding very strong. Some of the Romans charging deep in there, but getting slaughtered before they can quite make it to the front line. Sea Whizzes over here have taken some extra losses at this point, but are still firing away, so not too worried about them just yet for the U.S. Army forces. The gas mass units over here have had a lot of their lines eaten into, and it seems like U.S. Army forces are losing more troops at an expeditious rate here, as we are now at 11,400 dead U.S. Army soldiers 67,000 remaining. Of course, we still have the interior here, which will be extremely effective choke point defenses, but the exterior is where all the heavy weapons are. Heavy weapons, man! So that's definitely going to be important to keep alive. Why don't we go ahead and time-lapse for our first time-lapse here with 5.5 million Romans remaining and 66,200 remaining U.S. Army soldiers, and we'll watch these catapults come in. Okay, the catapults have breached so far forward now that the Roman soldiers are able to start working towards the interior of the U.S. Army fortress. Right now, this defense is just starting to ramp up. We do have missile systems on the inside. Just a few managed to spawn in here, so maybe they'll be effective. I'm not entirely sure. But these U.S. soldiers seem to be able to hold now, but it is very, very early in that assault. There's still more on the exterior over here, however, which seem to actually be doing a pretty decent last stand. They're not going to hold for forever, but hey, we'll take it, baby. Ghillie Suit Sniper is still doing excellent, and over here the Sea Whizzes are still firing away quite nicely. Most of the gas mask units are dead, but there's a good middle chunk here. I'd say probably actually half of them are dead right now. And the M1A2 Abrams are still firing away quite nicely, with a couple Sea Whizzes behind them actually doing a little bit of supportive fire. So that is very nice to see. We like. Alright, I'll stop doing Borat for now. Maybe I'll pick it up later, though. Are there any arrows in the sky? Oh, yes! Okay, I am seeing arrows up in the sky, so there must be some archers. Oh, yeah, here are the archers right here. They're able to fire out into the M1A2 Abrams. That'll definitely do some damage. And also against some of the U.S. Army forces behind. That'll definitely do some damage as well. Why don't we go ahead and watch the Abrams as well as the troopers behind them defending. We got Romans coming in from this side. We got Romans coming in from this side. It's going to be brutal. Right now we are at 4.8 million Roman soldiers and 55,000 remaining U.S. soldiers. Alright, well, 4 million Romans now remain. 48,500 U.S. Army soldiers now remain as well. The M1A2 Abrams are slowly dying on that side, but this side seems to be doing much better. Sea Whizzes have stopped firing down middle as the Romans begin their assault on the inner walls over here, though. Look at this! These two are just free firing straight into the gate. That's insane right there, dude. Holy cow. And outside here, Ghillie Suit Snipers starting to have the Romans get closer and closer, which is a little bit frightening, especially for snipers, but they're still doing it. This gate is holding out nicely. All these troopers over here ended up dying, and this gate over here does have quite a number of bodies in it, and those catapults have cleared out a lot of the interior troopers now, and they continue to fire, but most of the shots are just rebounding off of the walls here, so it's not really a huge deal for the US, but every once in a while, one or two rocks comes through and gets some kills for them. So, not fantastic, not the worst. This exterior defense still rocking it very, very hard. We love to see that. How are the archers doing? Okay, it's actually mainly archers out here right now, firing away. I wonder how that's going to affect the battle. Now, the M1A2, obviously, made of metal, has a lot of armor as a unit stat, so many of the arrows just bounce off, but like I'd say probably like 5 in every 100. Actually, well, so 1 in every 20, actually make it through and do damage to it. So, you know, it's a bit of a spam game when it comes to that, and eventually those Abrams probably will go down. But I'd like to see the Sea Whiz defense of this gate right here a little bit close up, because I think this will be really cool to watch in time-lapse formation. These Sea Whizzes just spamming fire out, and the U.S. Army soldiers supporting them with Romans on the left dying as they come in. I think this will be cool. 3.8 million Romans remaining for 46,800 U.S. soldiers remaining. Surprisingly, this sea was actually ended up going down. I'm not entirely sure how, but okay. Oh yeah, they're actually getting some slices in on some of these U.S. soldiers here, so they're weeding them out just a smidge. Nothing too terrible, but just a wee bit right there. And then out here, yeah, this is slowly but surely dying out bit by bit. This entrance, still holding fine. Ghillie suit snipers, they're actually getting rocked, I think, by some of those incoming catapult shots, which sucks for them, but they're still holding okay as well. I'm not like too worried about them or anything along those lines, but I am slightly concerned about this side over here falling, and then these guys starting to get eaten away at very, very quickly. That could be definitely very, very problematic for us. So I want to do an overhead of this side again, because I think this will be the next area to fall for the United States. We've got 3.38 million Roman soldiers left alive and 43,000 U.S. troops. Alright, boys, I had to put this on the pause menu for a second, which actually slows down the game, and I also put it on slow mode. That's a little trick. You can't actually pause. Oh, God, lag. Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2, but you can do those things. The reason I had to do that was my internet guy came. My upload speeds were like a megabyte per second, which is not very good when you're trying to upload a lot of files all the time to editors and things like that on YouTube. Ooh, a little bit more laggy. So the internet guy showed up. Super nice guy. Got it all sorted, so thank goodness. But we're back, and that's why I slowed things down and cut that time-lapse short for a little bit, because I just needed to do things on the computer for him, run some speed tests and things like that. So not too much ended up happening during that time because I slowed it down, but we are looking at 34,000 U.S. Army soldiers remaining, and looks like 2.88 million Romans remaining. So they're coming through. The catapults are actually right up against the door here, which is crazy. Are they not able to fire over the wall here? They might be too close. The ones back there, though, still are firing a little bit more. Yeah, look at this. These ones are firing, or at least trying to fire through this gate, and look at that. The spread. You can see the cone of fire from the angles that came through the gate here. However, they're not able to get the guys, like, hugging the walls. Ooh. We're getting weird random lag spikes here and there. Sorry about that, boys. Missile system still exploding there. That's awesome to see. Okay. Oh my goodness, what are these lag spikes? Brother, what the heck? But either way, the defense still holding. Surprisingly, we still have M1A2 Abrams out here. I mean, look at this. They're getting shot by so many arrows. There's only like 20 of them left. There was 200 to start, so obviously they've taken some serious losses during this whole battle, and they're gonna go extinct. The soldiers around them are all dead, so there's that. Look at these body piles that are like reaching up to the walls here. Oh my god, lag spike, stop it, please. Oh, actually made it get better. Nice. Now we're getting 40 FPS. That's beautiful. But yeah, these guys all firing out. But I was so embarrassed, dude, when the internet guy came in, because the litter box for our cats, one of them, we have two because we have 4 cats, so like, you know, we gotta have more than one litter box for them. But one of them is in our laundry room because it's a tile floor and we can close it if it smells or whatever, you know, it's easy. But our modem is also in there, and I opened the door like right before he came. One of our cats took like the stankiest dookie of all time. Like, oh, F's in the chat, boys. So I lit a candle to try and, like, you know, get the smell to go away, and it let me tell you, it just smelled like like vanilla candle and poop, and the entire hallway just smelled like, oh my god. I was so embarrassed, dude. My cats really did me dirty. Either way, I want to watch this body pile grow against the wall here, because I think eventually these guys will start spilling over the top. Yeah, I mean, 2.81 million Romans remaining, 33,000 U.S. Army soldiers remaining. So that means that well over half of the well over half of the Romans and well over half of the U.S. Army soldiers have died at this point. Since we started with about 80,000 U.S. Army soldiers, they have 33,000 left, so they have 3/8 of their force. And the Romans started with about 8 million. They now have 2.8 million, so they have about 3/8 of their force. So they're actually weirdly on somewhat even standings, and this battle could go either way. That's interesting. Either way, let's watch this corner here, because I think these guys are going to body pile their way up and start attacking the top, World War Z style. Well, I don't think this assault is going to amount to much, because it seems like the Romans gave up on trying to get up here. They did kill the Sea Whiz that was up here somehow. One Roman's there? Did he do it? I don't know how that happened. There's more over this way, though, still firing out, so that is pretty baller to see. Not gonna lie. Cannot lie about that. However, the rest didn't really amount to much for the Romans, that is. They're very much so going after these last, like, 5 M1s that are still alive. That's it. There's a bunch going in here now, though. So they're starting to open up this pathway. There's 2.4 million Romans remaining and 31,800 U.S. Army soldiers remaining. Still so many catapults out here. And they're actually blocking a lot of Romans from coming forward. Oh, lag spike. Okay, we're good. That's just because their bodies are so big, I think it's blocking Romans from coming forward. Look at the ghillie suit sniper body piles over here. This is insanity. Holy cow, man. And actually a lot of ghillie suit snipers apparently have died, I think, due to catapult fire. I think that's the big thing right there. This entranceway has seen some more modern U.S. Army losses, but nothing too extreme, and that's probably because there's no catapults over here and there's no archers over here. The archers over here eventually will be done with these M1s. Actually, there's only 2 remaining now, so yeah, eventually all of these guys will start firing on the fort, but for now, they're kind of chilling over there, and then this side obviously has the catapults to deal with, so this side over here is very strong and intact because they don't have any of that stuff to deal with, while the other sides are definitely taking a few more losses. Let's do an overhead time lapse for a little bit here. I think the U.S. Army has taken the lead somewhat, though, I mean, it's a precarious lead because there's still 2 million Romans, and they're kind of getting in here a little bit more than before. On top of that, there's only 29,800 of these U.S. Army soldiers remaining, so they're still taking some losses. I'm seeing arrows flying through here, which those arrows can, you know, easily kill U.S. Army troopers. Look at this little death tunnel. They're able to shoot down into it and across, and, like, that's awesome. That's sick. Why don't the arrow boys shoot those guys? That would be like a layup. That'd be a gimme. Oh, these guys way up here. They've been shot by some arrows, clearly. Huh, alright. Ghillie suit snipers with their insane body piles. Look at this. Holy smokes. Wow. They have taken some serious losses from catapults, though, so That's a bit of a yikes. Yeah, there's so many catapults over here. That is bonkers, bro. That is absolutely crazy. Alright, why don't we time-lapse this doorway again. Watch some of the Sea Whizzes firing away, but this battle's still ongoing and could still go either way, I think. Okay, well, U.S. Army still holding diligently. We do have a breach of the wall over here with plenty of Principes full yeeting down towards these Sea Whizzes. So that's an opening that will definitely help out the Romans quite a bit. Also, over here, look at, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, these body piles are absolutely insane. This doorway is almost completely crumbled, in fact. Wow. Why is no one going through here? Can they just not fit? I don't think they can fit. Oh my god. They blocked themselves out. Oh look, more are back over here and they killed all these guys. Interesting. Okay, well we still got 25,000 remaining U.S. Army soldiers, 1.5 million remaining Romans. We're gonna go ahead and let this ride. Let's do a nice, well, I don't want to be able to see more. So let's look over here at all these body piles going up over the walls and watch them grow and stuff like that for a bit, because I think that'll be pretty cool to watch. $22,000 U.S. Army soldiers now remain, and 1.07 million Romans. Absolutely insane. I'm just gonna let it ride for a bit here, and we'll find out what happens because we're running out of storage space. But I think it's pretty safe to say U.S. Army probably going to take the W here, considering what they're doing. But you never know. If anything crazy exciting happens, I'll be nearby building a Lego set, so I'll be able to start recording again. Well, okay, boys. It's been about a half an hour here, and we're down to 315,000 Romans, 18,169 U.S. Army soldiers. Yeah, look at this. The lines for the Romans have shrunk. Most of them are over here now. There are still catapults, but far fewer. Far fewer. The Romans over here have been sort of like tucked into this wall. Wow. And then these guys are still alive here. There's still a lot of ghillie suit snipers. Somehow there's still Sea Whizzes that are mostly chilling over this way. That is absolutely insane. And then there's a good number of soldiers over this way too. Holy cow, man. Absolutely bonkers. Let's go ahead and watch the Roman hordes just charging here, I guess. It's still too early to drop the nuke, I think, because I think the Romans could still potentially make a comeback, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, I think we can now guarantee a U.S. Army victory against the Romans. 150,000 Romans still remaining, and 17,544 U.S. Army soldiers remaining, but barely any U.S. Army soldiers are dying at this point, so they're gonna bring in the ultimate technology, the nuke! Oh, it's so fun nuking at the end, bro. Ah, beautiful, baby. Alright guys, that's going to be about it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below what other battles do you guys want to see in the future. Either way, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.